All right. So the distractions are many these days. I mean, there's distractions everywhere. And the parade of so-called breaking news headlines consumes our attention every day. I think some of the more sane members of society might actually limit the amount of news they take in. I mean, it can really get you a terrible outlook. You could be down if you look at too much of this stuff. I mean, there are now two wars. We're pretty much funding both of them. While the one in Ukraine seems to be at a stalemate of sorts, the war in Gaza looks like it could get out of control and spread like a wildfire at any moment. We're also looking at the economy, and we could be on the verge of a recession worse than any we've seen in a long time, maybe in my lifetime. I mean, come on, the price of everything is out of control. You see it, so do I. The divide between the left and right keeps us arguing, and if you're not into politics, no problem. You can waste your time watching sports, porn, video games, and an endless stream of TV shows and movies to make sure you're not looking around too much or seeing what's actually happening to this country every single day. Because if you were watching, you'd realize there are at least three things right now today that could be the end of all of us, or at least the end of everything we've known our entire lives. China, of course, tops the list as the CCP is the biggest global threat to America and all Western nations. And they're building a huge military. And trust me, they aren't building it to not use it. Next is our staggering debt. It's now over $33.5 trillion. Do you even know how big of a number that is? $33.5 trillion. We owe so much money to so many people that we'll never dig ourselves out of that hole, most likely, not without making things a whole lot worse anyway. And it was one of the failures of ancient Rome, fiscally reckless policies that lead to bankruptcy. Which brings me to the number 3 item today on my list of very urgent matters. That is the southern border. It's worse, trust me on this, it's worse than you've been told, even by me. Because the evidence of wholesale failure is coming out more every day. It's right in front of us. And right now, as we speak, tens of thousands of people from all over the world are on their way to cross the southern border illegally. Some want a better life. Some want to be Americans, but others, they want to invade so they can rob, pillage, and steal anything and everything they can get their hands on. Others, they want to destroy America, the country they call the Great Satan, and they will sacrifice their own lives to make that happen. I mean, the terrorist attacks are coming. It's not a matter of whether it will happen. It's a matter of when it happens and where. And will there be multiple attacks at the same time? Those are the relevant questions we face today. Let me start with Oscar L. Blue. Oscar Blue, a reporter right here at Real America's Voice, who has crossed tens of thousands of miles from our border all the way to South America and back, covering the story of the flood of illegal aliens streaming into our country. This may be the biggest threat that we face of all of them in the end. Time will tell. And here's Oscar this week speaking to one of the men leading this caravan north to our border. Listen.
Now, the Biden administration has been, in a way, completely incompetent with immigration policies that they are portrayed to be human, but they're completely on the opposite, on the contrast. They're inhuman of what is happening right now in South America, Central America, and in the northern borders. Your perception about that?
I believe that the Biden administration has dropped the ball. Immigration, a lot of the countries are fueling are actually this crisis. Immigration crisis is not a crisis that is about. It is a lot of the people are being, harsh conditions, but a lot of the countries are fueling this immigration by providing, in a way, transporting people, letting people in and using them as a way to all the people that are working with Lopez Obrador to make sure that a lot of this immigration goes straight into the United States.
Do you think that immigration is being weaponized?
Definitely, it's being weaponized against the United States, against the Joe Biden administration. Joe Biden administration has lost the ball.
He says the countries all along the route to America are helping and providing the means to show up at our border to tens of thousands of people so they can just walk in illegally, take advantage of, well, all of us, really.